So yes, good morning once again, and welcome to Bitcoin 101, where we share unbiased news, where we share information that can help you when it comes to taking or making a decision when it comes to crypto space. So my name is Lawrence. I'm a host, and also I have my partner Louise, who'll be taking us through our first presentation. We are live on YouTube, so let me share that link over here so that you can share with your brothers and sisters, or later you can also do share it or watch it later if there's something you want to take or to note. So there you go. That's the YouTube link. Let me also share the same on Facebook so that we can be with everybody. So you can take that link and you can share it in on any group you have or people you love, your loved ones, for them to just also come on board and learn more on what is happening in the space. So 1 second, I'm just sharing it in one more group and then we're good to go. Okay, so I hope, Louise, you're ready to run the show. So let me give you the hosting rights so that you can just take us through today's topic. And then after that, I'll come with the news and I'll be on the chat line just answering any questions you have. So welcome, Louise. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Lawrence. I can hear you loud and clear. I hope everyone else is okay, and hope you've had all had a beautiful week. Welcome on board, Stephen. I see Ugo. I see Mishi, Cloud, IMD, and then there's PM. And also, I think we have a couple of guys also who will be basically plugging in on the YouTube live and also Facebook. So it's been a great week. This week, a lot of things happening, and as usual, I think I'll be doing the part of today's session, just a little bit of what we are supposed to do. So I'm thinking my session will be very brief, and I hope, first of all, before I proceed, you can all hear and see me. Just maybe type in 1 or 2 on the chat so that I can, at least I know we're on the same page as I share my screen. Just type in if you can. Okay, yeah. So thank you, Lawrence, for the clarification. So as we get going, remember to share the link, the YouTube live link, so that at least anybody who wants to learn 1 or 2 things can plug in later to the session. So I'll be going ahead to share my screen. And then let me also mute everyone. Let me just mute everyone just a moment. Let me mute everyone. Yeah, so I think we're good to go now. Yeah, so I thought today we do like a small comparison in terms of alternative coins and also Bitcoin, because I think with the rally that has been happening the past couple of weeks, I think people are wondering what is happening to all the other cryptocurrencies as well, because Bitcoin is what is really moving the market right now, because it's usually the king, it's the most valuable, and it would be good to know what makes. I think let me again. Okay, just a minute. As I mute everyone again. Okay, yeah. So I think that's good now. I don't dial it properly, but I think that's okay now. So as I was saying, I thought to share something about altcoins, or what you call alternative coins, and also comparing to Bitcoin in terms of because there are very many. You can say there are very many ways you can use to compare something. In this case, you can talk it as a weighing scale. What weighing scale do you use to compare all these like Bitcoin and all the other alternative coins? So first of all, of course, you have to start with as you can see on your screen. I hope all the screens is visible. Thank you again. Thank you, Valerie. Thank you, Caroline, who's just plugging in now. See Michael Kinua, Tina. So yeah, keep sharing the link, and then we can get going as we get to learn something, and also get an update or that has been happening over the past week. So diving right into it. As you can see on the screen, I think it's quite visible. Firstly, it's important to understand that there are two categories of digital coins. There are two categories. There's cryptocurrencies, that is e.g. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Cash, Monero, etc. And then there are tokens. So maybe most of us would be surprised that actually Ethereum is a token. Ethereum is not per se a cryptocurrency. So that is based on how you view it. But as per some fundamentals, it's key to know that Ethereum is a token. It's not a cryptocurrency. But Bitcoin, Litecoin, Zcash, Monero, etc. are cryptocurrencies, and I'll be coming to explain briefly how does play that comes about. So looking at Bitcoin, Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency that we know, and other cryptocurrencies are competing against it. That is existing money, gold to replace them with a true global currency. So what is the promise of Bitcoin? So the promise of Bitcoin is that it is a global currency which allows individuals to own their own money without having to rely on national banks. So that is the factor of a decentralized system. There are low fees of transacting money across the geographic borders. So that promise in the outlook is what actually drives the price. That is at the far end. Then number three, financial stability for people who live in countries with unstable currencies, e.g. That is Venezuela. That is in 2016, was it with an high inflation rate of about 800%. In addition, two kinds of the current global population has no access to banking or limited access. So Bitcoin is changing that, and that is why it is. Let me just admit new people as well. I think I have some guys. Just admit all. Okay, yeah, admitted all. Yeah, so those 3 points basically is what makes Bitcoin like valuable, is what makes Bitcoin what it is, and that it is. There are very many underlying fundamentals which I think we've talked about in our early Zoom sessions, which actually you can it is quite active on our Facebook links. So looking at Ethereum, because now Ethereum, for you to compare altcoins, you have to start with Ethereum, because Ethereum it was like it's the platform that all these alternative coins or tokens run on. So what Bitcoin does for money, Ethereum does for contracts. That again, let me take that again. What Bitcoin does for money, Ethereum does for contracts. So Ethereum's innovation is that it allows you to write smart contracts, basically any digital agreement where you can say if this happens, then something else happens. So let's take an example, like a practical example now on how Ethereum smart contracts or tokens are enabled and actualized. If I vote for the president, then my vote is official, and no one else can vote as me. That is a very simple example. I think everyone else can understand that. Let me see. I think there's somebody on the chat. Oh yes, we can. Okay. I think I've already done. I've already muted everyone. So secondly, if I sign my name on this document, let's say it's a sale contract of a house, it's a sale or purchase agreement of a car, or be it whatever document that needs you to append the signature, then you own the car, or you no longer own the car if you are the one selling. So up until now, we've carried out these agreements with a signature at the bottom of the paper. Ethereum dramatically improves this model because it is a digital, and proof of the transaction can never be deleted. So once that contract is made digitally, it is actually you who has enabled it. That's why it is like a digital signature, because you are the one who has basically like executed the contract. So those 3 key examples is what actually forms the bottom line of Ethereum contracts. Now let's look at a side-by-side comparison of Bitcoin and Ethereum before now we go to comparing the altcoins in general. So if you look on the right on the left side, you will see the first column. It says what it is. What is it? So Bitcoin is a currency. Ethereum on the other end is a token. That is very clear. Number 2, who is the inventor of Bitcoin? It is a person by the name Satoshi Nakamoto that we've never seen. On the other side, Ethereum was actually invented by somebody called Vitalik Buterin and Joseph Lubin and Gavin Wood. There are a couple of people actually who's been going through that, and those are people that we know, we've seen them in conferences, and they're actually actively improving the Ethereum working program. So when did Bitcoin go live? It went live in 2009. That is 3rd January. Ethereum went live when? In July 2015. So how is the supply style? Meaning now, this is where now comes the fact of inflation. So for Bitcoin, maybe I can put the cursor there. For Bitcoin, it is deflationary, meaning there's a finite number of Bitcoins that will be made. In this case, there are 21 million Bitcoins. I think that is very clear for anybody who's been here for a while. But for anybody plugging new, Bitcoin is fixed in supply. So if you look at Ethereum on the right side, it is inflationary, much like a fiat currency where no more tokens can be made over, where more tokens can be made over time. In this case, there are 18 million tokens made every year. Most of us, I think, didn't know this, but Ethereum is actually, it is, as you can see, there are 18 million tokens made every year. What is the smallest unit of a Bitcoin as a currency? That's 0.00001 of a Bitcoin. Those are 8 decimal places. They are the small units. So in one Bitcoin, you have like 100 million units. Now, looking at Ethereum, you can see how divisible it is. I think I'm not able to count those decimals. And then in terms of issuance, how is the issuance sequence? So for Bitcoin, is every 10 minutes. For Ethereum, it is 10 to 20 seconds. So this again gives you a baseline on how Ethereum works. And then in terms of amount on each unit, in terms of issue, there are 12.5. There were 50. Then it came to 12.5. Then it came to now 6.25. That is what is currently being issued from the blockchain. And after every 210 blocks, it halves. That is actually what comes about the 4 years. For Ethereum, it is 5 per every new block. And then again, going to in terms of utility, which is actually what we talk about. What is the use of Bitcoin and also Ethereum? So for utility, Bitcoin is used for purchasing goods and services, as well as storing value, much like how we currently use gold. That is what you can talk about Bitcoin. For Ethereum, it is used for making decentralized applications on the Ethereum blockchain. That's where now you've talked about DeFi. You talked about all these decentralized. I think we did a small session on how decentralized finance works, and all those systems are based on the Ethereum blockchain. Now, price, that is another factor that you can use. You can compare. So in early 2009, it was at about $5,300. Today, I think it's at $18,000. That is Bitcoin. For Ethereum, it was around $173 back in 2009. Today, I think it's slightly over $510. I think I'll get to show you on the last chart, which I'll be sharing. So in summary, in terms of purpose, Bitcoin is a new currency created to compete against the gold standard and the fiat currencies. That is for Bitcoin. For Ethereum, it is a token capable of facilitating smart contracts. For example, a lawyer's contract, an exchange of ownership of property, and voting, etc. That is what Ethereum is used for. So let's now compare side-by-side comparison in terms of now Ethereum and all the other altcoins, which is actually what I was going to share today. So I'll be sharing another this link, this platform called CoinDesk. It's one of the resources that we usually use to gather information. So if you now look at this chart, it will show you basically market cap. I think last week we talked about market cap. Market cap is the amount of value in a particular currency. Like now in Bitcoin, which is the first one, you can see that the current value of Bitcoin is at $18,643.58. That is for one. The market cap in terms of the value is about $345 billion. That is, I think, if you compare to the Nairobi Stock Exchange, I think it is I think it's more or less playing around there, if I'm not wrong. So as you can see over there, it's very clear. Bitcoin is a currency. its value proportion is like for storage is a good store value, and then the consensus mechanism, which is how is it being operated. It's what we call proof of work, and these are some of the things that we usually take people through in our crypto master classes. So look, if looking at Ethereum, which is the second in terms of merit, price wise, it is at $509 as of today. Market cap again is at $57 billion. So that shows you how the two of them go sort of head to head. But you can, as you can see over there, it's quite clear that Bitcoin is way ahead in terms of market cap and also in terms of price. Now, from Ethereum all going towards the right side of this chart, all of these are altcoins. They are basically tokens that basically try and form their own like use case in terms of utility value. We have Ripple, we have Theta, we have Chainlink, all that. I think this chart only compares like I think the top 15 of them, but all in all, Bitcoin stands to be at the top. Now, if I scroll down a bit, I think I'll just show from number 1 to number 5. So let me see. I think if somebody's saying something on the chart. Okay. I think Lawrence is updating guys on the because actually we have a Telegram channel that you can always be part of, so they can be getting these news updates. So if you compare now the top 6, number 1 being Bitcoin, and then the 5 others will be the other altcoins. So if you look at on the one that is in bold, price wise, of course, Bitcoin is on top, followed by Ethereum. Then there is Bitcoin Cash, there is Litecoin, there is Chainlink at number 5. And then number 6, you have Ethereum Classic. Then number 7, you have Cosmos at $5. So going to secondly to market cap, if you just a moment, I think I've clicked the wrong thing. Just go back a bit. Okay. If you click on market cap, as you see, Bitcoin again is the one that is on top, followed by Ethereum, Ripple, like that. So there's a huge difference from Bitcoin and Ethereum. If you look at the total, I think let me skip over to supply. I think let me take over the supply. So the supply, which is that one, let me, at the moment, we have 18.55 million Bitcoins in circulation, already in circulation. Bitcoin Cash, again, in terms of supply, is close by, because Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin Cash was a fork from Bitcoin. Last week we talked about what are forks, what are system like Bitcoin upgrades. So Bitcoin Cash is a fork, and you can see it has the same number of in terms of supply. Number 3, we are now talking about of supply. We've moved from we are comparing this now in terms of supply, not market cap. Supply is like the amount of coins that are in circulation. And then Litecoin comes in third with 66.38 million already in supply. Then Ethereum now comes in number 4 at 113.5 million in terms of total supply. This is in comparison to the total supply, because Bitcoin is 21 million already. 18.55 has been issued. Bitcoin Cash the same. So Ethereum, you can see it is at 111.50. It's bigger than Bitcoin supply, but in terms of the total supply, the total definite supply, it is still at the lower border. Ethereum Classic is at 123.83. That is in terms of silver. If you talked about, if you compare on category, all the top 3 are all currencies. Then Ethereum comes in number 4 as software or a software platform. Then in terms of value proposition, again, Bitcoin is top because it's on digital gold. Let me just do that again. Value proposition. Okay, let me. So in terms of value proposition, Bitcoin is digital gold. Bitcoin Cash, Internet of Money, as it's called. Again, Litecoin is on digital gold. All that you can see there are very many ways of how you can compare these cryptocurrencies and alternative coins. So that I think gives us an overview of how all these get to fare in terms of market cap, in terms of price, in terms of their use cases. So the reason why you are seeing Bitcoin is that it's very far off in terms of price, in terms of market cap, is because of its use. Again, Ethereum again is secondly, now it's at 510. Now I think the last thing to compare now is now in terms of pricing. Now you can see now everything is green, which is actually what drives more people to buy into it. And this is when I think what Lawrence talked about last week was you know when to be fearful and you know when to be greedy. You know when to cut your losses. You know when to get into market. So the market is green now. Everybody is very happy. But trust me, this at some point will be red. And the moment you see Bitcoin red, all these other cryptocurrencies, as you see Ethereum, Ripple, all that will also be red. So all of these actually go hand in hand to how Bitcoin is performing. If Bitcoin is performing well, all of them will be in green. If Bitcoin is performing poorly, all of these alternative coins will also be red. So that is the relation between Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I hope that was quite clear. I didn't want to go dive much into details, but that was just an overview on how all these alternative coins and Bitcoin also interrelate and also relate to each other. So I think that summarizes my point of sharing today. And if there's any question, keep posting them on the chat. I'll be answering them as I send the hosting rights back to Lawrence to take us through the news and also what has been outstanding and active within this week. So let me stop my screen, and then I send the hosting back rights to Lawrence to take us through the news section. So thank you very much, and I hope I'll be coming back later to for any questions and clarifications. Thank you, and good day ahead. So let me send the hosting rights back to Lawrence. Okay, there you go. Thank you.
Okay, great, Luis. That was a good share. Of course, it's usually good each and every other time we have one topic just to help us really understand the cryptocurrency space. It's been now 12 years down the line since Bitcoin started in 2009, and a lot is happening in the space. And if you come in the space, you're a new person. If you don't get the right information, you might end up in the wrong hands or in the wrong places. So, without much further ado, not to dilute what Louis has just shared, differences between altcoins and Bitcoin. Allow me to share my screen so that we can see what has been happening in the world in terms of news. So, just 1 second. So today I just wanted to start with the price of Bitcoin is at 18,710, and just to share with you, this has happened in a very short period of time. I think just a few months ago, I was telling people to buy Bitcoin at around 9,000. And I think for people who maybe had some cash stashed somewhere today, they're happy wherever they are. They're really like made quite good cash, even if they decide to liquidate their asset today. So why I started with the Bitcoin price is because a lot has been happening in the space just this 1 week. And allow me to go to my first news. And my first news from a person I follow a lot, or this channel called Decrypt. Decrypt, they say Bitcoin is now, allow me to highlight this so that we can see. Bitcoin is now the 20th biggest asset by market cap. Just by the fact that it hit $18,000, it's gone to the 20th biggest asset by market cap. And of course, it's good to know that Bitcoin's market cap is bigger than PayPal, Horizon, Citigroup, and even Zoom. these are some of the things that these are some of the news you need to really like be looking up for, because they'll trigger where the prices will go up or down. These are some of the things that you really need to really always be on the lookout for. So just 1 second. So you can see, according to Asset Dash, a site that tracks major global assets, of course, Bitcoin has hit number 20. And lots of other companies in the list have been greatly affected by Bitcoin. And I'll be sharing with you some of the companies that have really like taken these to me. So Louis has shown that market cap for Bitcoin right now is around 340 something billion dollars, and that has just accumulated in the last 12 years. So you can imagine in the next like a decade or maybe even 20 years to come, 2 decades, how much will the market cap capitalization of Bitcoin be? So these are some of the things I was going through this weekend, and I was like, it's great. So let's go to the second news, and still on Bitcoin and the price. It's good to know that nearly 25,000 Bitcoin addresses were created in just 1 hour. Think about that. Maybe some of you who are in this site today, you don't even know how to own a Bitcoin wallet. You don't know how to secure it. And this is the reason that's why most of us are here. Decrypt is here. Decrypt Edge is here to help you just understand the pure fundamentals of cryptocurrency. How can you own a wallet? Get to experience Bitcoin. Turn from one wallet to another wallet. Easy. Where can I buy Bitcoin? Where can I liquidate my assets if need be? Where can I use my Bitcoin? This is the reason that's why we are always here. And you can imagine, just by Bitcoin hitting 18,000, over 25,000 Bitcoin addresses were created in just 1 hour. I think this is just big news. And for me, this is bullish because these people are not creating these addresses just to just have a wallet over there. They are creating these, of course, maybe to buy or even to hold a Bitcoin. So the number of Bitcoin addresses created in 1 hour has reached a high last since early 2018. And we know, of course, what happened in 2018, 2017, Bitcoin had its all-time high up to almost $20,000. Early 2018, it was crashing down. And of course, a lot of people did really create a whole lot of wallet addresses. And these news, according to Glassnode, another company that I really also follow for news. So they said in the first 1 hour, the highest number of newly created addresses in the Bitcoin network was created since January 2018. And these are some of the news that are making me be very bullish on Bitcoin currently. To my bad news, Squawkbox. Of course, they were reporting what SEC said this week, and it's good to note that the chairman of SEC, Jay Clayton, he said, we determine, let me just expand this so that all of us can also read. We determine that Bitcoin, just 1 second, sorry about that. Yeah, here we are. So we determined that Bitcoin was no longer a security. So of course now they have come to a conclusion that Bitcoin is not a security. It was much as more of a payment mechanism and a store of value. Because most of countries are thinking, how do we regulate Bitcoin? How can we come up with regulations towards Bitcoin? If you don't define it, you cannot have a law to really like govern its usage or even do taxes and stuff. So the SEC chairman Clayton said on Bitcoin, our current payment mechanisms have inefficiencies. Those inefficiencies are the things that are driving the rise of Bitcoin. Remember, Louis has told us Bitcoin came to compete with what? Gold and fiat currency. And I think it's good to know that a lot of these bodies are now recognizing Bitcoin for the role that it came to solve, for the solution it came to offer in the marketplace. When Bitcoin started in 2009 up to around 2016 before the bull run. A lot of companies, a lot of institutions, a lot of bodies were calling Bitcoin a bubble, a scam, used for money laundering, used for terrorism, or any negative thing, peddling drugs and stuff. But again, they've come to notice that Bitcoin was way much, it had a much more, how can I say this? It had a much more goal to achieve than what was the underlying or what they were just thinking Bitcoin was. And it's good to see that at least now SEC is coming clear on certain things like Bitcoin is no longer a security. And I'll be sharing with you some of the news also I saw from SEC. So to my other news is that, of course, during last bull run in 2017, where Bitcoin hit its all-time high, we had so many searches of Bitcoin. And everybody was just searching Bitcoin to get to understand. Everybody is talking about Bitcoin. So the searches went very high. So you can see also currently, global search volume for Bitcoin appeared higher than 2017. And these are some of the things I'm talking about. This is very bullish on Bitcoin. It's very bullish on Bitcoin. So the monthly global search for Bitcoin are reported, so I reportedly 350% higher than in the late 2017. And again, in the late 2017, this is where Bitcoin moved from, I think in 16 days, to move from, was it less than 11,000 to 19,000 in around 16 days. And that was huge. Everybody was just Googling about Bitcoin. So this shows that a whole lot of people right now, because of the price surge of Bitcoin, they want to really get to understand. They really want to know, what is this Bitcoin? We've ignored it for 12 years. Maybe it's the right time for me also to get to understand what it is. Can I put part of my portfolio in it? How do I diversify my assets if I was to just take part of what I have into cryptocurrency? And an interesting thing on Google Trends data hasn't shown is that the monthly global volume for Bitcoin in 2017 was actually lower than what we are seeing in November 2020, and November is not yet over. November is not yet over. So I do believe in the next few days, more people will be getting to search more about Bitcoin just to get to understand. So what is happening in the global platform. So moving over to institutions. I think this is one of the institutions we've been talking about so much, because Grayscale is one of the biggest fund management in the whole world. And this week, Grayscale acquires over $188 million worth of Bitcoin in one day. Currently, Grayscale, they are holding $500,000 Bitcoin. They are leading in terms of companies that have a whole lot of Bitcoins. So, you can see they're not stopping. And it's clear, Grayscale said we cannot even satisfy the demand from our clients. That's what they say. Whatever Bitcoin is there in circulation is not even enough to satisfy the demand we are getting from our clients. So on a personal level, if such a great big company is really going big on Bitcoin, what are you doing on a personal level? Or what are you doing? Are you expecting? Are you just waiting for us to get to be told by our government Bitcoin is good? Or what are you waiting? What are you doing on a personal level? Because institutions are not there to help you make money. They are there to make money for them and also for their investors. And as an individual level, you need to ask, what am I doing? Because Bitcoin moved from where public and individuals would really like acquire a whole lot more. Today, if you have one Bitcoin, you belong in another class. Just one Bitcoin. And it will be difficult for in the next few years to get somebody who has 100 Bitcoin. It won't be easy. It won't be easy. So what are you doing today to make sure that you are also really, understanding, not even, I usually not even say owning, just understanding what Bitcoin is. So Grayscale is one of the company I follow a lot, and it's amazing. So what they're doing in the space. Again, we move to, of course, Grayscale again. It's making a whole lot of news this week. Grayscale buys $240 million in Bitcoin in the largest capital raise week ever. So it was not only 118, they did another 240 million, and this is what led them to hit $500,000 Bitcoins. You see, before they bought these, they were at 481,711 Bitcoins. You can do your maths. Let's just check this. 481, 711. If I go to Prim, back to Prim, and I do 481, 711 Bitcoins, how much that is that in terms of value? In terms of value, we're talking about that's 9 billion, right? Yes, that's 9 billion. No, $9 billion. $9 billion. That's what they purchased in a few, just in 1 week. And currently they are sitting at 500,000 Bitcoins. This represents 62% of all Bitcoins in the ownership of public traded companies. So they are leading. I had a chart which was showing me where they hit $500,000. I think I cannot remember where I drew that chart there. So you can see institutions right now, every institution is looking to hedging. They are part of their portfolio in Bitcoin. And it's amazing to see how much of billions they are putting in the space. So moving on swiftly, CME Bitcoin Futures. This is another corporate company that does also features and management of portfolios. CME Futures crossed 1 billion in open interest, a new all-time high. And like I said today, I think most of the news I'll be sharing is just showing you how bullish Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies will be. And of course, this is triggered by what? It's triggered by institutional investors falling under what we call FOMO, fear of missing out. No institution want to be left behind right now, and they will do anything they can just to hedge part of their portfolio in Bitcoin. So CME, you can see again, of course, they crossed over $1 billion. Moving on quickly to other news. It's good also to note that also celebs this week they have made news in most of the news also, and of course you can see he's a rapper called Logic. He bought $6 million worth of Bitcoin. It's amazing, man. And like I say, this week has been just bullish on a whole lot of people, and I think there's also another celeb who asked what Bitcoin was. There's a lady who asked what Bitcoin was. So you can see a whole lot of these people, what they're doing is that they're just diversifying part of their portfolio to Bitcoin. And I'll be talking to you the reason that's why they're doing that. So I just want to highlight the news, what was making headlines this week, and then of course I can give 2 or 3 other statements as I finish. So of course, it's also good to note that first company-sponsored Bitcoin retirement plans launched in the US. Look at this. First company-sponsored Bitcoin retirement plan. We've heard of 401 pension funds, late retirement plans and stuff. Look at now what we have. We have a Bitcoin retirement plan. It's launched in the US. This is the first one. So Dame has launched in the United States the first employer-sponsored retirement plan that supports investment in Bitcoin. You as an employee, you can say part of what I'm getting, or part of what is being kept for me for my retirement, part of it to be done in Bitcoin. You can see companies are opening up to really understand and get to know what Bitcoin really is. So also great news we've gotten this week. So moving on swiftly to other news, Goldman Sachs. Of course, in our previous presentations or sharing, we've talked about 3 types of digital currency. We've talked of corporate, which are stablecoins and also what we call tokens. We've talked of CBDCs, central bank digital currencies, and then we've talked of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. So of course, you can see Goldman Sachs is one of also the biggest company in the whole world. Expect digital yuan to reach 1 billion users within 10 years. Digital yuan was launched this year by China. And a whole lot of, I think there's something I was sharing in one of our Telegram groups, and I told people to go through what the Fed and IMF was holding Fed and all other central banks. And I remember the chairman of IMF saying over 80% of central banks are looking or they are researching on how to start or to change their currencies from paper to digital. And I think China is leading in terms of adoption and everything. So China is heading the way, is leading the way. And you can see over there, the digital yuan China planned national virtual currency would account for 15% of total consumption payments in 10 years, helping commercial banks gain more ground from fintech companies, according to November 17 Goldman Sachs report shared with CoinDesk. So it's good to note what is happening close. So in the near future, you'll see a whole lot of countries also coming up with their digital currency. So in other news, another mainstream company is seeking to seeking approval to invest in crypto. What did I say? I'm talking about institutional investors becoming so bullish in terms of Bitcoin. So Anthony Scaramucci investment fund Skybridge seeks approval from SEC to invest in crypto. And I think a lot of institutional investors, what they're doing, they're watching what other institutional investors are doing, and they don't want to really be left behind. So the company may seek to gain investment exposure to certain investment funds and investment managers, which may enter into derivative transactions such as total return on swaps, options, and futures. Investments by the company and/or investment funds may also be made in the companies providing technologies related to digital assets or any other emerging technologies. So you can see all of these companies, they are looking at what are other companies that we are in the same field doing and how are they excelling in these fields and how can we not be left behind. Because one thing I usually say is you can watch and you've seen how many companies have gone down just because they don't really move with technology. Technology, if you don't take it to your own advantage, you'll go. Today, I usually even share like here in Kenya, we used to have booths, then we went to some green ponds that were called simu za jamii, where you used to queue and also put some coins and do simu za jamii. Where did they go to, if you ask them today? Today, if you still have a simu ya jamii and you're expecting to make money, you're obviously people have phones, everybody is carrying 2, 3 phones every day. So this is what is happening across the globe. Institutional investors are very bullish on Bitcoin currently. So moving on swiftly, of course, again, these are Galaxy Digital is another company which which want to launch new Bitcoin fund in Canada. So it's good to know that Galaxy Digital saw massive growth in Bitcoin fund trading volumes in Q3 of 2020, and of course they want to expand to other countries like Canada. So of course a lot of institutional investors are looking at how can we expand and how can we grow, because most of the time I usually say blockchain technology and cryptocurrencies, you should just think of it like internet in 1990. There are people who took advantage of things that other people would never have seen, and today they are on another level. A very good example is the richest man in the whole world, the most wealthiest man in the whole world, Jeff Bezos. He launched Amazon during the internet boom. He was like, what is not being offered in the internet? How can we take advantage of that? And today he's on another level. So you can see these companies are thinking of how do we go to the next level? How do we go to the next level? Moving on swiftly to other news. Moving on swiftly, it's good to know that exclusively OCC Chief Brian Brooks says payments charters. Just one second. Payments charter is ready. More crypto banks coming soon. I always talk about this crypto banks, but I don't want to go into details about that. And I think this is exciting to see that people are now even thinking of how can we own cryptocurrency banks. It's amazing. I don't want to go into details, but I can tell you people are thinking on how to really like grow the crypto space, grow with it, and also take advantage of or it's what the space will offer. So this was this news from Forbes. To other news, because I don't want to take a whole lot of your time. Of course, Juice Bank says investors increasingly prefer Bitcoin over gold as inflation hedge. So again, we usually say Bitcoin is a digital gold. So people are thinking of okay, I can hold gold. Gold was 1,700 in 2012. Today, gold is, I think, $1,900. Hasn't done anything. Bitcoin was $4 in 2012. Today, Bitcoin is $18,000. So whoever hedged that against the inflation, of course, you can tell the winner. So Bitcoin has also given a whole lot of people good ROI. So Bitcoin's appeal as an alternative store of value asset is strengthening according to analysts at German-based investment bank Deutsche Bank. So it's good to know that a lot of people are doing research. They're totally like what they used to call a bubble. Right now, they are seeing the stability Bitcoin has shown. If you check on all-time lows since 2009, and of course they're seeing it as a hedge against inflation, better than gold currently. So moving on again to Dushbank. It says central bank digital currencies will replace cash in the long run. So, and I think we've seen this. And when the pandemic started, COVID, I think one of the biggest things people are sharing is that let's reduce usage of cash because you can transmit the virus when you are sharing cash instead. What were people told? Let's use more of mobile money transfers and wire transfer, bank transfers, or any other way you can use. Cryptocurrency does that. It's peer to peer. You don't touch. You don't see. You don't really like have physical cash, and you can transfer easily, lesser fees, and all that. That's a story for another day. The importance of cryptocurrency. So it gives a solution. So of course, what we are looking forward to is that as more central banks are coming up with their digital currency, CBDC, central bank digital currencies, I think it will reach a time where you no longer see cash, you just carry it in digital format in wallets. So moving on swiftly to other news, as I'm almost finishing our presentation today. In other news, we go to Belarus, and just to tell you that the largest bank in Belarus launches a cryptocurrency exchange. If you cannot beat them, join them. And I think, of course, banks are looking at if we don't really take this step of getting to understand how cryptocurrencies are, we will be faced out. Because trust me, when people are not sleeping, people are doing research on what cryptocurrencies are, and when you really understand and you get comfortable in using Bitcoin, you get comfortable using other cryptocurrencies, you discover that there is no need of a third party. You become your own bank and you can do anything you want in the whole world, anytime. So of course, banks know if we don't act up, people get to understand what Bitcoin is. I think will be obsolete. We won't have any use anymore. It's just like when emails came. Emails came. Of course, we used to do letters, write letters, take them to post offices and send them. Today, I can do that on the palm of my hand using my phone. I don't need to go to post office. You see, so same thing when people get to understand cryptocurrency and the power it gives you back. I think there will be lesser volumes being transferred to banks and other financial institutions because people can do what you call peer-to-peer exchange of value using cryptocurrencies. And of course, banks are looking at if that happens or when that happens, where will we be at? Where will we be at? So these are some of the banks that are taking a step, closing the gap earlier as other people are just watching on the sidelines. So a state-owned bank and the largest financial institution in the Republic of Belarus is the latest bank to drive into the world of cryptocurrency. So This should give you a really good picture of what is going on globally. People are not sleeping on what cryptocurrencies are. Now we go again to Dubai, and Louis showed us, of course, the difference between Bitcoin and other altcoins like Ethereum. And it's good to know that a Dubai investment firm is taking $10 million worth of Ethereum to support the Ethereum 2 launch. I think Ethereum is going to have an upgrade on their main net. And of course, they do what we call proof of stake. That's how a lot of people, a lot of Ethereum are issued. New Ethereum is issued through proof of stake. If you think of, I think this is some of the things they really want to do in the next mainnet, where like you pay based on how much you stake. You get reward based on how much you stake, not like proof of work, where like physically you have to really verify transaction for you to get a value out of it through mining rewards and also maybe Bitcoins coming. So this is a company that also is looking at how do we expand our portfolio to other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum. It's good to note, by the way, Ethereum just a few months ago was around less than, I think, $100. It's the time it hit 90 something, like 4 or 5 months ago. So today, if you had gotten some Ethereum, it's at 500, that's 4x. Big money. So that's a story for another day about cryptocurrency and investing. I just want to give you a whole bigger picture of what happens. Now we go to Vietnam, and of course, the Ministry of Education adopts blockchain record keeping. These are other use cases of blockchain technology, like I always say. Cryptocurrency was the first use case, which is Bitcoin, first use case. But let's remember, all that technology that makes blockchain was in usage even before. But the successful usage of blockchain was cryptocurrency. Now, it has so many other use cases. And as this decade goes, you will hear a whole lot of other use cases of blockchain coming up, like voting, record keeping, smart contracts, like what Ethereum is doing and stuff. So there's so much you can do. So these one of the countries are looking at what are the other usage of blockchain and how can we utilize them. So moving on swiftly, this is good to note. It's usually said, don't do what they say, watch what they do and do what they are doing. So it's good to note this, that over 73% of millionaires invested or plan to invest in cryptocurrency. This is a survey that was done. So if these guys are thinking, they already have the money and they're thinking of diversifying to cryptocurrencies, what are we doing on a personal level? I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. What are you doing? And I usually say, do your own research before even you get to cryptocurrencies. Learn and learn. There's no experts. We are all students. We cross over to Mexico. Mexico, second richest man, invests 10% of liquid portfolio in Bitcoin. This is another great thing. This is the 166th wealthiest person in the world has revealed that he has invested in Bitcoin. You see, they don't want to be left. I talked about 73% of millionaires. You can see he's one of them. Put 10% of his portfolio in Bitcoin, and you will see more of this coming. Now, again, we go to Airbnb IPO prospectus says a firm may consider crypto and blockchain. You see, Airbnb is the biggest hotel that owns no rooms. It's just an app. The biggest hotel with no hotel rooms, but just an app. So they are considering, of course, using cryptocurrency and blockchain. So you can imagine how this will lead to getting people to really understand. Because maybe I'm going, or you're going to a different country. You want to book a place to stay in any Airbnb or hotel. And you see, one of the payment options of there is Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And of course, it will trigger your senses to get to know what is this Bitcoin, what is this cryptocurrency. So I found this interesting. And moving on swiftly, I have like just a few more news. I think this week has been an amazing. It's good to know that Samsung has come up with a new blockchain-based secure file transfer app. You cannot beat them. I mean, also Samsung was also looking forward to coming up with a digital wallet. It's good to know that. Like you buy, I think it was S10. Yeah, the Samsung, I think S10. They launched a phone that has an encrypted digital wallet. So you can see again now, what are they doing? How can you use blockchain to also make our phones more smarter? They are coming up with a blockchain-based secure file transfer app. So these are some of the things that people want to spearhead the next adoption, so that they don't become obsolete. So this is amazing. So let's wait and see how this app will be working. So to my almost done last news, Citibank, I found that this is interesting and also bullish in terms of Bitcoin. Citibank analysts say Bitcoin could pass 300K by December 2021. Wow. Just imagine if you have one full Bitcoin right now and it goes to $300,000. In Kenya shillings, that's around how much? 30 million. So if you have one Bitcoin, you have 30 million. If this happens, it's not an assurance, it's not an assurance, but it could happen because, of course, they are looking at so many fundamentals that can drive Bitcoin price to such all-time high. So between now and then, you as a person, I want to also challenge, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing to make sure at least you have some Satoshi in your wallet, to make sure that you have some Satoshi? So of course, the senior analyst said what? Bitcoin has similarities, it is drawing similarities between the 1970s gold market and Bitcoin. Of course, they are checking what happened in 1970 with gold. And they've seen that there are so many similarities on what happened in 1970 with gold to what is happening with Bitcoin currently. So it's good for us to just keep an eye, get to know what is happening. And then as I finish, other use cases of blockchain. Is there a risk to offer blockchain-based crop insurance to Kenyan farmers? This is another use case of blockchain technology. So, of course, the project aims to provide blockchain-based parametric insurance platform that helps protect smallholder farmers from the effects of climate change. I don't want to go so much into details with this. I think one of these one days we'll share more use cases of blockchain so that you can get to understand that cryptocurrency was just the first one, but there's so much you can do with blockchain. Of course, again, it's good to note that as I finish, US company now let travelers pay passport with Bitcoin. More use cases, more people are getting to understand what is happening. This is in Peninsula Visa, a firm providing passport and visa services in the US, says now it accepts payments in Bitcoin. And you will see a whole lot of this happening as time goes by. So of course, you want to pay your visa, you want to get your passport, you can pay them in Bitcoin. But of course, you cannot pay if you don't have Bitcoin in your wallet. To my second last news, now we are in Africa. And good to know that this is one of the people I've been following, Akon. Is one of the biggest musicians in the whole world. And of course, he came back to Africa with projects like a solar system in their country. He's been doing a whole lot of other things. And I think last year he announced that he wants to come up with a city which is blockchain based, and cryptocurrencies will be used over there. So I found this interesting that he came up with a cryptocurrency called Acoin. And it's a Stellar-based. Stellar has a blockchain. It's another cryptocurrency. Stellar-based Icon can now be used to pay for groceries and gas in the Kenyan city. And I thought this interesting because I think we will see more of this happening. And I was going through this project of Econ, and I saw it might also open up cryptocurrency usage in Africa. It will open up cryptocurrency usage in Africa. So this is one of the partnerships they did. with Julius Mwale. He runs what we call Mwale Medical and Technology City in Kenya, Julius Mwale, and he's one of the people who have really supported these projects by ACON, the musician called ACON. So of course they said that city has over 35,000 people, and of course they'll be using these in their businesses just to do transactions and stuff. Interesting happening. And to my last news, which I found very amazing and awesome from Africa. These two gentlemen who started a fintech startup called Cheaper Cash. I think maybe some of you have used Cheaper Cash. Some of us have not used it. And when I was doing my research this week, I came to learn that these guys have raised quite a good amount of capital, over 300 million, backed by them. This is the richest, or the wealthiest man, not richest, wealthiest man in the whole world. And of course, most of how they diversify their wealth is to look for people who have ideas and they invest in them. So I found this interesting, but my point is not even the money they raised. My point is that number one, it's good to know that. Let me just go here. It was founded in San Francisco in 2018 by Ugandan Ham Serugoji and Ghanaian Majid Maulud. The company offers mobile-based, no-fee, peer-to-peer payment services in 7 countries, including Ghana, Uganda, Nigeria, Tanzania, Rwanda, South Africa, and Kenya. But what got my attention is down here. As part of the Series B raise, the startup plans to expand its product and geographical scope. On the product side, the entails offering more business payment solutions, cryptocurrency trading options, and investment services. Nobody wants to be left behind. It's been for money, just transferring money, but they want to add cryptocurrency trading option and investment services on that app. So you can see where you're going. Everybody is thinking about what? Cryptocurrency. They want to add what? Like purchasing cryptocurrency assets. So you can buy using that app and you can do what we call peer-to-peer. And I found this really, really interesting because they also want to also allow you to make investment in stocks. Very interesting project. Guys are not sleeping, but for me, my highlight is that they really want to add cryptocurrency in their app. And I think this will be big. This will be big. And this is the reason that's why you see these big investors are looking at, okay, there's something coming up. We're going to be part of it. So that concludes my news for today. I know it's been so wide and diverse. I hope you, of course, we are checking and learning what is happening across the globe. And I can see our time is over. Let's see. Thanks, Louise. I can see you've been answering questions on the chat. And maybe just to add on what Steven asked, how long is this Bitcoin rally gonna last? Of course, Louis said it's all about timing. And it's good to understand that markets have what we call cycles. There's bull market, there's bear market, there's the stagnation, the accumulation, the reaccumulation, and nobody can tell how long that will last. So it's usually just to keep on your eye on what is happening, the news that can trigger the next move in the market, and of course, with that, with good knowledge and also following, you can really get to get to understand. So. We don't know how long this is going to last, but of course, from all analysts, they are saying 2021 will be big for cryptocurrency space. Not only Bitcoin, but also we might have what we call altcoin season. So I think this is a good time for everybody to strategically position themselves as leeway. Nobody can tell the exact date. But based on the earlier all-time highs of Bitcoin, that is in 2013 and 2017, I think after halving, it usually takes like 400 days before we have an all-time high. So I don't know whether that will be at a peak this time round. Nobody knows. But of course, most analysts are saying, of course, the next bull run will happen between 2021 and 2022. where Bitcoin is expected to go over 5x from where it is. That's close to $100,000. Again, this is not like a guarantee. So we are just all of us like just waiting and see how the market will behave and how the market will work. So having that in mind, if there is no any other question, Luis, do you have anything to add on what you shared? Okay, cool. Luis is saying he's good. So for me, just one request. We shared our Telegram group over there. We share a whole lot of info over there, how markets are behaving, the expectations of the day. You can follow us, and you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Telegram channel. If you're on Facebook, also we have a Decrypt Edge Consulting page over there. Follow us, ask questions. Let's interact. Let's also next week on Friday, that is the 27th, we have a masterclass, and it's good I share that link over here so that if you've not registered for it, I think it's a high time you did so. It will be a one-day masterclass, which can also help you get to understand or learn 2-3 things on what is happening in the crypto space. How do you open an exchange? How can you trade, or how can you make cryptocurrency part of what you're doing as part of what you're doing you know, I don't want to call it as a side hustle. I usually just don't like that one. There's no side hustle. As part of the way that you can make extra money. So let me just copy these here. Let's make sure we register all of that. It will just take less than 1 hour, 30 minutes. And I do believe it will be worth your time. It will be worth your time. So I do hope, and you can share this with any of your friends, because it will be it's free. It's free, so invite as many people as you can so that they can come and also learn. Let them come and learn. Register, share with your family and friends. We'll just be breaking down introduction of blockchain and stuff, and then helping you open an exchange. How do you do all these? What is peer-to-peer trading? How can you buy Bitcoin here in Kenya? You know, how can you, if you want to liquidate, what are ways that you can get Bitcoin from one place to another? How do you send and stuff? It will be just 1 hour, 30 minutes around there, and also there will be Q&A. So I look forward to seeing all of you in that masterclass. So go ahead, the link is there. Share with your friends, you know, and then 1 hour, 30 minutes next week on Friday from 5 to around 7:38 there. Just have a pen and paper, grasp as much as you can. Take as much as you can from that masterclass as we organize the next now masterclass. So with that, I think I want to appreciate everybody for your time. I really do wish you a great weekend. I do pray for blessings for your family, for your businesses and everything you're doing. May you find favor. And of course, let's remember, if you don't pull the triggers, you will never hit any target. So it's good to have the information, but if you don't do anything with the information you're getting every day, it's useless. So just get to also you know, learn, but also utilize what you're learning to make a difference in your life. So with that, I want to thank everybody. Have a great weekend. God bless you. God bless your families. God bless your businesses. Bye-bye.